A few days ago, we were hit with some massive news. Riot Games severed their ties with Garena, and instead they will be publishing League and TFT in the East themselves. Now, I understand that this may not feel important to you, but that's because you don't know what Garena was doing. An awful client that was worse than what we have. Predatory microtransactions. Skins being exclusive to bundles. Most skins being only available for 2 weeks, after which they would never come back, forcing you into buying them immediately. Clash wasn't available under Garena. Draft mode wasn't available under Garena. Southeast Asia was separated into 7 country-based servers with no crossplay. Third-party API overlays and spectate would not work under Garena. This means op.gg never worked. There were no esports drops since you can't use the Garena account to log into LoL esports. The Garena client patched for 2 hours after every patch. Garena was directly selling gemstones for 300 RP. KDA prestige skins were only available from loot boxes. In Taiwan, you could bet currencies against a team, including your own teammates. And if you played in the Philippines, your client would be crypto mining in the background. Let's start with what living under Garena was like. The moment you would log in to play League of Legends, you would be hit by something like this. Skins and sales right in your face. Then, as I mentioned, the store itself locked skins behind events. Whenever new skins came out, some of them would only be available for 2 weeks as part of the event. And after the event was gone, your only chances on getting those skins would be to buy loot boxes. But that's still the better way for you to get the skins. Sometimes, for example, as another Redditor mentioned, the entire Worldbreaker skin line was locked behind purchasing a certain amount of RP. So you couldn't just spend the RP that you already had. To unlock the ability to buy the skins, you had to buy at least 500 new RP. Other times, skins were just gated behind luck, as you were forced to enter a ticket lottery. But also some, such as the Nightbringer Vladimir, were just locked behind a paid premium pass. Also, some regions operated by Garena didn't have set price tiers. They just priced their skins whatever they felt like. As you can see here, epic skins were roughly about 250 RP. But Nightbringer Lee Sin? 396, why not? Also, that's more expensive than Legendary Soraka, who is for 369. But even legendary skins were not the same price. Garena knew that some skins would sell more than others. So, comparing it to the Legendary Soraka, when it comes to Lux, it's 599. Speaking of which, just to drive the prices up, in Vietnam, Garena simply marked some skins as legendary, even though they were not legendary. So in this screenshot, which comes from 3 years ago, you can see that the Vietnamese client has 183 legendary skins, while normally we only have 47. All of these look like really awful practices. But that's only where the rabbit hole starts. Garena was giving away some free stuff too. Sometimes events also gave you a free skin and an icon, which was balanced by that. And they did something unique that no other region did. Every time they would win MSI, they would get some celebration rewards. Usually they would get some XP boosts and icons. And then they would open up the limited time store, where you buy skins. And to celebrate the victory, gifted loot boxes had better loot. Although I remember Riot did the same thing. Anyway, what a great celebration. But then they announced the ultimate sale. It pretty much behaved like your shop, except there was a twist. You would get random skins with random discounts. Nothing tailored to your account, it was all random. Every day you got a free refresh, which gave you 8 new options. But if you still didn't like your options, you could use the Prized Refresh Plus for 75 RP, which was basically an extra reroll, which also guaranteed one 350 RP skin in the shop. But what is that? You like the skin you got, but you don't like the price? Well, fear not, for you can use the Discount Refresh Plus. which for 75 RP more will reroll the price with a guaranteed 50% discount. So basically you spend RP so that you can spend less RP. But there was no guarantee you would get something you liked in the first place. Sounds awful, right? It would be a shame if it got even worse. Because these are not skins. They are icons.
What?
Despite the fact that in their reveal article they keep calling all of these skins, it's all just icons. What happened here is that some of these were supposed to be skins, but the chances of getting a skin were so low, most of these were icons. At least that's until you buy the reroll, because remember, there is a guaranteed skin. But now you may be thinking, all of these look like skins, how do you distinguish them from icons? Well, that's the thing. You can't. Because the names of these items are so long, you will never know if it is a skin or an icon. For example, here you can see that the Odyssey Karma has an I after the name, because it's supposed to say icon. But if you want that true damage echo skin, it's time to gamble. They purposefully made people think they were buying skins when they were buying icons. I have to give it to them, they knew they could get away with calling all of these skins. It is technically a skin for your profile. I can probably just keep going with all this weird stuff that's been happening around Garena. But now it's more important to focus on why Riot decided to sever the ties. One of the reasons could be because Garena was indirectly preventing League of Legends from getting more popular there. Which is funny because in Korea and the rest of Asia, League is still massive. In the South? Not really. They even shut down their servers in Indonesia and pushed people over to Singapore and Malaysia because people didn't play the game. But also, in 2019, Garena's parent company lost over $1.5 billion. Which, according to the people who played back then, was exactly when Garena became aggressive with their monetization. Which is also why some people stopped playing. Which is also why Garena cut some features from the game. That's why there was no Clash or Draft mode, they had to save money. So, with all of these horror stories laid out, let's have a look at Riot's announcement that feels like the light at the end of the tunnel. Side note, I find it funny that the main art is Braum releasing a Poro into the wild. In the post they mentioned that after 12 years of partnership with Garena, Riot Games will be self-publishing League and TFT across Southeast Asia, starting in January 23. They will be focusing on making sure that everyone across the globe has the exact same experience, which means they will get rid of all the garbage that I talked about. They then mentioned that in the past Garena was instrumental to growing League, and that they are thankful for their partnership.